I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Vinnie Fisher on the line, and he's the CEO and co-founder over at Fully Accountable. Vinnie, welcome to the show.
Hey, well, thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, so excited to get into today's show with you. Just to start out, let's get into what you're doing over at Fully Accountable. So first, tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, so Fully Accountable is a complete outsourced solution for e-commerce and finance companies to provide for e-commerce companies, we provide all of their accounting and finance done for a company. Our whole core mission is to provide fractional CFO, the accountant, the bookkeeper, and the financial analyst all in a package for less than having your bookkeeper in your building for e-commerce and digital companies all around North America.
Let's talk a little bit more about that fractional model, because I don't want to assume that all of our listeners are familiar with it. I'm a huge fan of it personally. I think it just makes sense. I think it's not only the future, it's the now. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense to hire a company to do that. Talk about the benefits of it, please.
You know, we have a motto. We call it time, money, and resources. And so really as an entrepreneur, the leader of your organization, you spend so much time trying to work on your back end of your business because you want to save costs there. And so what I say is you need to reframe your mind to have a profit center mindset, not a cost center mindset to the operations of your business. So if you can win back the time of not putting it into that part of your business, and then using a fractional attitude, you can save so much money by hiring someone who's an expert to do that for you at a fraction of the cost that you would spend yourself building it internally. And finally, if you actually think fractionalized and you have this kind of profit center mindset instead of a cost center mindset, you will actually partner up fractionally with someone who's got way more resources than you would even ever consider wanting to invest internally inside your organization. So with the right attitude on time, winning back your time so you can do the part you're supposed to, at a fraction of the cost, will save you a bunch of money with so many resources at your fingertips. I look not only in accounting and finance, but other categories in your business that you really should have a fractional mindset about.
Yeah, the one that always comes top of mind to mind is the CMO. So the marketing side of things, it's like you can't. Some of the people out there, they're just so good. For you to be able to hire them with their expertise, it's for a lot of small business, it's just outpriced. Like you can't. You're not if your company's not that big, you don't want to write that big check, but you may not even want to, because the way I see it is with the fractional model, you get the best of both worlds. Let's talk a little bit more about the kind of the experience of fractional CFOs and the kind of candidates and or people that you like on your team.
So, a CFO really is somebody who's an executive, right? Their job is to actually be involved in giving advice, guessing forward projections, financial expertise on looking at your financials and helping you with the roadmap of where you should be going. That person's job is not to do all of the work. They're like a rented executive that you have on your team. And so most people, like me, would have went out and bought a CFO thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to do all the rest of it, completely not realizing all these other jobs. So a CFO today in our digital e-commerce community is somebody who understands not only the terminology of our space, but lives with this attitude of high transaction, a lot of moving transactions, real-time data, connecting to technology, being able to produce things on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, and kind of throw off this older mindset of historical accounting and enter more of a modern era of accounting. So we bring in really missionally minded people who are experts, and then we train them only in one category. So we can actually help them be the best part of the team for our clients.
Can you talk a little bit more about the technology? Because I think that's something that working with a company like yours also brings to the table, where let's just say many companies aren't necessarily caught up with that.
Yeah, like we talk about artificial intelligence now. There's two phases to it. There's the first piece that you can connect with banks and you can connect with your softwares and you can have transactional download and categorization because of the use of good tech. And so the problem that most companies have is they're not going to invest in the tech of what we do. because they have a cost center mindset, not a profit center mindset. It's too expensive to want to go get those things. But because we've invested in connecting with banks through APIs and all your softwares, we can consolidate data, save a whole bunch of time. And then the other half of artificial intelligence is how are you paying for the manual piece that's not completely automated just yet? And who's doing that work of reconciliation and all the parts that really allow your back office to run correctly? So those two-part pieces is what we really excelled at, and why we are probably the largest company in our space that does what we do specifically for e-commerce and digital companies.
So there's there's some people listening right now that they're thinking, you're like, okay, this sounds good. I've heard of the fractionals. Maybe I need more information. What is so that the right people follow up with you? What is the right type of company that's a good fit for Fully Accountable?
If you're an e-commerce company, you sell stuff to other people, and you're doing $1 million in revenue or above, then you're a candidate of ours. If you're a digital company, you're like a guru or a member or software, you're already doing $500,000 in revenue or above a month, then you're a candidate to be a client of ours. Those are all of our clients. That's where we live. That's who we serve. And so that's our client.
Any unique trends that you're noticing from your niche of the world? So whether it be digital or e-commerce or otherwise?
One of the things that I'm on a mission about is that, when I set out in business, I'm not any of the people that work on my team, meaning I'm a business owner. And I would grow and did and have grown 3 successful 8-figure companies, of which one I exited, one I broke, and I actually eventually left another one, but in a good way. And so I didn't understand enough about financial matters to the point of cocktail napkin math. What I see happening now is with tech and with the right resources, good CEOs and founders are realizing that a little bit of information, if I can get better data into the hands of fellow owners like you and me, then I can make better decisions for my company. And so a good indicator, what's happening right now that I'm noticing, is that the people who are doing a little cocktail napkin math and understanding core indicators in their business are actually more likely to have a better profit margin and more likely are going to have better cash flow and outdo their competitors in their category.
Let's I know you got an announcement to make. Let's talk, speaking of your business and the culture, let's talk about you being a great place to work. I know you're not a big self-promotion guy, but I'm going to make you talk about it. So let's talk about why you're a great place to work. Don't hold back.
I'm excited about that. I think our team, our culture, who we are, we put team first. And because we put team first, our clients benefit the most from that. And so I know it's counterintuitive that culture talks about putting clients first, and the client's always right. Well, we put our team first. And because of that, they live, breathe, and die for the client. And as a result of that, someone nominated us for an award, and we went through the process, and we were voted as one of the great places to work in America. And so my team actually deserves the recognition of that award way more than I do, and so I'm super proud of them for all the things we did to stand and embody what that award means.
Man, that's awesome. And if you think about who you want to bring in a fractional CFO or any type of fractional help, you want it to be a company that had the right work culture, somebody that you're gonna be able to count on, and that they want to be part of the company. So that's awesome, and congratulations on that. That's no small feat to be nominated and to win that. So great stuff there. So Vinnie, I can talk to you about this. So I can talk to you about this fractional model all day long because I know the benefits of it, and I know some of the people out there are going to want to follow up. So what's the best way to get more information on Fully Accountable?
Yeah, so Adam, we really want people to have the resources to win. The right people that need us to do all the work for them will get it, and they'll go through the process. But first and foremost, we created a gift at fullyaccountable.com/mission matters. And when one of our listeners, by the way, great job for all you do. I've been listening to a few shows here, and I'm excited about this one. Just as a side note, Heather Courtney Quinn, I can't wait to listen to her. She sounds awesome. But back at fullyaccountable.com/mission matters, your listeners, the listeners of this show, will get gifts about how to actually put the right pieces in place to actually effectively win at cash flow, how to grow their business. Because if I can give those gifts in the right hands, then you can actually really do something to matter in your business. So I wrote a few books, 2 bestsellers. That's all there for free. And the only reason someone doesn't get them is because they don't take action and have us mail it out to them. And so that we want you to have that. That's how you get a hold of us. And you want to learn more, well, you make it very accessible to be able to connect with one of our people.
Man, that's awesome. Love when somebody gives my audience gifts, and they love it too. So really appreciate that, Vinnie. And thank you again for coming on the show and sharing more about your background and what you're doing at Fully Accountable. And congrats again on the award, being one of the best places to work in the U.S. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you had a lot of fun listening to this. We had a lot of fun making it and bringing it to you. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video, and love to know what you're doing, what you're working on. So let's talk business. And Vinnie, thanks again for coming on the show.